What's up, all you beautiful people? Welcome back to the Double Long Pod. As always, the Guillotine, Daddy Rambo, and joining us in beautiful Taylor's Island Family Campground, the one and only Hyman Smasher.
Ryan Maitland, welcome back. It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm applauding for myself.
Yes, you should.
You know,
Someone's got to.
someone's got to.
If you hear a little American muscle rumbling in the background, all of this shit is powered by my truck.
Then Bud Light.
And, thanks for the BLs, Ryan.
Ryan decided to treat the pod tonight. Get us some Bud Light. I mean, beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Favorite beer's the one in my hand.
That's right. That's why I'm drinking a big truck.
Thanks, Kip.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're here.
We're here.
And we are queer. We got fucking Bud Light to prove it, baby. This place is actually pretty nice.
It's not bad.
I mean, it's kind of a dump.
A little bit of a dump.
It's like a nice dump. You know what I mean? Like, there's no designated campsites.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is the tent camping area. Go claim your spot, which is nice that we got here first. I was the first one here. There's actually still only one other person here. She said in October, like she said October 1st, we'll start filling up. She said the second and third week, they're full.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good time of the year.
But people will start coming in this week, and it'll be full by the end of the week. So
It's that time of the year.
But I feel like we have the best site.
Tucked back in the woods here.
It's the only one with a fire ring.
Is it really?
Yeah, look
You
around.
scoped them all out, yeah.
Yeah. And now back there, I didn't know this till actually I already had my tent up, and I decided to go take a leak.
Yeah.
There's more sites.
Yeah, I've
But-
seen the clearing back there.
There's no fire rings or anything. I think that's cooler back there because it's a little more secluded, but you're also going to have more mosquitoes back there.
It's fine.
Icky.
Yeah. It's a good spot. It's a good
Right
spot.
on the bay.
Yeah, right on the
It's
bay.
going to be a hell of a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're here all
Jazzed.
week hunting the majestic
Illusive.
marsh ghost, the Sika deer.
Mm-hmm.
They, if you don't know, they originated on, I believe it's pronounced Yakushima Island in Japan. Then they went to Ireland, and then they were brought over from Ireland here to James Island.
Which doesn't exist anymore, correct?
Which is underwater.
Yeah.
That's correct. And there was 5 or 6 of them that got out of captivity. And now we have the population that we do have, estimated between 12 and 15,000.
Do you think that's correct?
Yeah.
I think it's low.
I think there's more.
I
Yeah.
think there's more.
Everyone complains, oh, there's not as many Sika. Like, man, you drive down these roads at night, there's a ton of these freaking deer.
Yeah. I mean, and not only that, but dude, you go hunting out here, especially like some of these spots where it's real heavy frag. I mean, you're hearing stags. Like every fucking couple hundred square acres, there's stags. And they're roaring off. And I mean, the hinds, like you hear them moving, you see them. I'd say there's at least 12,000. I'd say it's probably closer to 20.
Mm-hmm.
But what the fuck do I know?
Yeah.
I'm
What
not
the fuck do
guessing.
they know, though?
I would
Yeah.
agree with that.
What the fuck do they know? How do they do their
Right. And
estimations?
And where are they taking this population? Because is Wicomico County, Worcester County, Dorchester County, and even like lower Delaware? What is that, Kent? What's the lower one?
I don't know.
Sussex?
Sussex County, Delaware. Like, are they all participating in the survey? Because I guarantee you, on the Delmarva Peninsula, there's got to be more than that.
Yeah, there's a ton.
Yeah.
I mean, they're expanding their territory every year.
Mm-hmm. Not if I can help it.
Yeah. Or if you can help it.
Yeah, well, I do. I'd like to sneak a few up to Cecil County.
That'd be sick, right?
Oh, dude, that's what I was telling Ryan. I was like, if I owned some land down here and I wasn't a law-abiding citizen,
Mm-hmm.
I might can build a trap with a feeder on top of
Or
it.
like just like a net gun.
I feel like that'd be a little harder. A trap, like I could make a trap with a door, you know what I mean, where I hit a button and I have a cell cam up on video and a feeder mounted to the top of this trap.
Mm-hmm.
And then the trap door, when I get like 5 or 6 of them in there, just shuts. And I'd build it on top of a trailer.
That's how they do with hogs down south.
Yeah. And then I'd hook up that trailer to the truck, cover up the cage, and release them up and see stuck it.
I wonder if it's ever been attempted before.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Some
pretty crazy
hillbilly
to
was
think
like, I'm going to order a net gun off Amazon. Fucking capture one.
I wish somebody would do that. If you're listening, drop off some Sika deer and see stuck it.
Yeah, they would adapt,
about.
right?
I think the craziest thing about the Sika deer is that they're all inbred, but they're a healthy population.
Well, look at you. You're fine.
Yeah, that's the nice thing you ever said to me.
Hell yeah.
I just think that for a species that's 12 to 15,000, all completely inbred, to be healthy and stable is pretty crazy.
Yeah, all have the same bloodline of those 6 or however many it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I knew enough about genetics to understand that, because you'd think it just wouldn't work.
Yeah, especially early on.
Yeah, like, it's wild.
Yeah.
But I guess it's different with animals. I don't know. I mean,
I would imagine it is. I've never seen a Down syndrome whitetail.
no, I can't say I have either. But they don't get vaccinated.
That's true too, dude.
Just kidding. But not really.
Not at all.
So, Johnny, before we get into our adventures here in Sikaville, I heard you got one on the board, big dog. Walk us through this.
Barely.
Barely.
Yeah. I was going to hunt at Port, but I got out of work late, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just go to the quarry and hunt. And I'm sitting there, and it's like raining and like misting. It was a miserable night. And all of a sudden, 4 bucks start coming right down the trail, right where I expected them to come. And one of them was that real wide 7-pointer I showed you in the beginning of the season. He wasn't shootable.
No.
No.
It wasn't as big as you thought.
No. That velvet adds a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
It does, yeah. But they moved along, and it was probably a half hour later. Here come a doe. And I set up in a closer tree to the hole in the fence. So I was 20 yards from the trail. And she gets behind this big-ass poplar tree, and I draw. Everything's money. I stop her. She looks right up at me. I pull the trigger on my Stand Onyx release. Hit her right in the spine. Yeah. So she's flailing around. I knock another one. I figure my sight got bumped, so I adjust with just like Kentucky windage. Another bad shot right in the spine again.
No shit.
Yeah. So the third arrow, I finally finished her off.
Damn.
Yeah. So that sucked. And I went the next day and I checked my bow at Elk Neck shooting range, and it was dead nuts. So I just pulled the shot. Yeah.
Huh. That's odd. And now I know you put like this ungodly large felt on your drop away rest.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't have anything to do with it.
No, I'd already sighted my bow in for
You
that.
already fixed that.
Yeah.
So you just hit high.
Really high.
How far away was she?
20 yards.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Like I hit her like high and to the right.
That's not like you.
I think I just pulled the shot. It was my first deer with that thumb release too. I think maybe that might have had something to do with it, because I did punch the absolute shit out of that. I remember vividly not rolling through the click and then the release. I just went, Preh!
Yeah.
So
you think maybe you just had to get that out of your system?
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if a Sika deer comes out at 20 yards, I hope I just absolutely double lung it, which I will.
If there's more misses or fuck ups this week, I'm gonna be a little disappointed in you fellas.
I'm not gonna miss. I spent 2 days at Elk Neck sighting my bow in. I'm hitting the top of a beer can at 60 yards.
Good.
Consistently.
That's what I want to hear. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. We all make mistakes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But man, it sucks because these things are so hard to hunt. You know what I mean? And the opportunities are not a given. They are not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be unseasonably cold. It's not going to be like unseasonably warm, but it's going to be pretty typical
80.
first week of October weather. Maybe like a couple degrees. I think the average for this time of year is 78.
Yeah.
So it's a tickle high Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it drops back down. But we should see pretty regular rut activity this week. with that being said, I don't think we're going to have like killer movement. You know what I mean? So I think the shots that we do have, we got to make sure we capitalize on.
Don't worry about me. I'm ready. I am 100% confident
That's what I
in
like
that
to
bow.
hear. And Ryan, you gonna get it done?
Oh yeah.
That's what I like to hear. I'm gonna get it done. When I go into the woods, like, and it's something I've been really thinking about since I came down here. Because sometimes it's like you just go out in the woods and you're like just enjoying your hunt, but you got to make sure you have that killer mentality too. Like, I'm here, something walks out in front of me, it's fucking dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Confidence goes a long way. You know what I mean? Like, in all things.
Yeah.
You know? I feel like your mindset going into the woods and during your hunt can make or break your hunt.
Yeah, I mean, that'll kill you if you see a deer and you're like, man, I really hope this thing doesn't come my way because I don't know if I can execute this shot.
Yeah. Or even if you just don't have that sense of confidence.
What do we got? Jeepers creepers in the goddamn trees?
Squirrels.
Squirrels.
A couple squirrels chasing each other.
Those goddamn bastards. I feel like it goes a long way. And that's not to say I'm not sure if I've ever felt like super confident and fucking whiffed a shot, but we've all whiffed shots. I mean, it fucking happens. It doesn't matter how much you prepare. Like, sometimes shit happens. You know what I mean? It could be a deer moves in the way you didn't anticipate it to. It could be a limbs in your way. A fucking shoot a tree branch.
Foreshadowing.
But shit happens, man. And that is inevitable. You know what I mean? You can't predict the unpredictable. But you can always be ready. You can have that mindset of, I'm going into the woods to kill, going in with purpose. And I think that helps a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like I haven't been very confident in my bow here lately. I haven't made a good shot on a deer since like 2021.
Yeah?
Yeah, with my bow.
Yeah. Yeah, I know last year you had a lot of fucking, like, just
Issues.
off shots.
Yeah.
Issues. Not like with finding the deer, but not just, you didn't make any, like, perfect pinwheel shots last year.
And the year before, it was like I couldn't miss.
Yeah.
I was just punching the hard every single time.
That's how I felt last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't miss. I was fucking on it. And I'm hoping to keep that going this year. You know what
If
I
I
mean?
make another bad shot, I'm going to buy a new bow. I think that's probably the issue.
I think that's what you should do.
Yeah, that's probably what I will
Yeah,
do.
just buy a new bow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, dear.
Hell yeah.
And fucking, when I was down Elk Neck, forgot my rangefinder down there. Didn't find it.
What a,
You left it in Elk Neck?
Mm-hmm.
just what an idiot.
And
I got an extra if you need
No, my beautiful woman bought me one.
Oh, thank
Vortex?
you, Sam.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Thank God for Amazon. So
Nice. Can't go wrong with Vortex.
Yeah, that's,
I went back the next day and I was like, where the fuck is my rangefinder?
Someone got it.
Yeah.
that's the worst feeling. I actually keep 2 rangefinders on me
Mm.
now because, like, when
Two
you
of
go,
them?
I keep 2. I bought a new Vortex and I have my old one. My old one was fine. But there's nothing worse, like, talking about confidence, than when you, like, show up to a hunt and you're like, fuck, did I forget my rangefinder at home? Like,
It's like
did I forget
pointless.
because you're like, man, like, if a buck comes out or a stag comes out or any animal comes out, like, you don't want to be second guessing yourself. So, like, for me, I'll carry the extra 8 ounces.
Yeah.
That way, like, if I forget my Vortex in my jacket or something, I know I have one. Like, it's that peace of mind. Be like, okay, no, I'm good. I think that's, like, one of the most important, outside of your bow, like,
Yeah.
it's so important.
It's up there.
I was telling Sam, I was like, I've lost probably the third most important thing in my equipment. She was
Yeah.
like, I buy into one
I
sugar.
mean,
and
your
was like,
release and your
thanks,
bow. I mean,
Mhm.
obviously your arrows and quiver.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're always attached, but I mean, you release your bow, then third's probably rangefinder.
Yeah.
Rangefinder or your
I
tree
mean,
stand.
Unless they're under 20 yards without my rangefinder, man, I don't want to guess.
Mm-mm.
You know.
Nope.
And it's real easy to overguess, overcompensate. You
Yeah.
always think, they always look further than what they really are.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It's not like you need to range every deer, but I need to at least like range trees.
Yeah. Have an idea.
Like I sat really high. What was that, last night? I was high up there. I don't know how high, probably like 35 feet. And I started ranging trees, and if I had to have guessed, I would have been wrong. I would have been way off. Everything was further than I thought it was. I was like, that tree's 20. Ranged it 29.
No.
Like, yikes, I would have fucked that up. You know what I mean? And rangefinder is an important piece of equipment.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Ryan, since you've last been on here, you achieved something that is no small feat. Something that people we've talked to have spent years in an attempt to do.
Yep, I finally did it. I finally shot a doe on opening day. It was quartering away 7 yards, shot her in the heart. She went about 30 yards, no blood trail, but I got her. She's in the freezer.
Beautiful.
Congratulations.
I waited, it took me 4 years to get a doe opening day, so very proud of that.
That is a huge thing. How'd that feel to just get that monkey off your back opening weekend?
Oh, my dick has never been harder.
Yeah. It is a monkey on your back.
Oh,
that first deer.
You're like, okay, I'm good.
Now, okay, like it's almost like that first deer is you have to get it done just to like that. You need that for your confidence, and you also it's like it's that little bit of comfort. Like, okay, I got some cushion, I got some meat in the freezer. Like my old lady's not gonna think I'm a fucking chump. Like at least I'm killing shit.
Yeah. So it turns out the secret. It took me 4 years, but I figured out the secret to deer hunting, and I don't know why it took me so long. The secret is 100 pounds of corn and a ladder stand.
Oh yeah,
dude, I don't know why I spent all this time like trying to sit on trails and trying to like actually be like an outdoorsman. Like it just turns out you put 100 pounds of corn, give them 5 days to figure out where it is, and then just shoot them.
Yeah.
Kevin Dvorak's been preaching that to us for years.
Yeah.
No, Kevin is a smart and wise man.
Yeah, he is.
Wish he was here with us now.
I know, it's a damn shame. Kevin and Brandy, wish y'all were here. I know you got a lot going on right now, building that goddamn barn dominium, and Kevin's balls to the wall at work. I know you guys wanted to be here, but
next year
we'll kill them for you.
Yeah, and I hope I kill one.
You get one.
Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get a shot opportunity.
Oh well, I won't miss. So
and you'll kill one.
That's what I like to hear.
I'm not gonna miss.
But Ryan, that's actually not what I was referring to. Although that is a hell of an achievement, and I'm super pumped for you. And actually, when I told Rachel about all your success this year, she was like, "Man, Ryan's killing it." And I was like, "He's getting it figured out now." I was like, when you first started hunting, like you were just like this babe in the woods, like you didn't know what you were doing. And now I've watched you grow into the hunter that you've become. And now it's almost like you're almost like an animal that I rehabilitated and let loose into the wild. Now I can see you just flourishing.
It is interesting to like think about. I was thinking about like my growth as a hunter, my growth as like a woodsman, if you will, to where I remember like when I first started hunting, obviously like Seth was my mentor. I went out with him, and it would be pretty much, he would tell me exactly what tree to sit in and which way to face. And then the next year it was a lot of like me learning on my own, because I started hunting a lot of public land down in the lower shore. Not a lot of Sika hunting, but a lot of like whitetail hunting. A lot of hunts where I sat in the woods and just felt like a freaking idiot because I wasn't seeing deer. And then the next year, it's just like the evolution. I remember like sending stuff in the group chat, be like, what did you guys do with this? What would you guys do with this? And it's like basic, like, where's a trail, or there's this, or there's that. To the point where like I'm pretty like consistently, I feel pretty confident. Again, I can get so much better, which is the cool part. But you could hand me a terrain map, and I would have a general idea on where I needed to go to hunt, and how to play the wind, and how to play certain environmental circumstances.
Food sources to
food
look for.
sources.
The configuration of bed to feed, and whether you hunt in the morning and the evening. And there's a lot to deer hunting. It's not like you just go out in the woods and set up, and it takes a while.
It's like most things that you can't be an overnight success as a deer hunter. You got to learn by doing. I mean, I don't think anyone's really gonna. It's like a 10-year thing. Like I'm in year 4, and I feel like just now I'm starting to get a hang of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I got 6 more years before I'm probably going to be a proficient hunter.
Yeah. They say 10,000 hours, 10 years roughly to mastery of something.
Yeah.
And obviously we got a later start to Sika. We're all just figuring this out, but
yeah, but y'all got to figure it out pretty much though, dog.
We've also like been doing it a lot.
Yeah.
Ever since we found out about this, I mean, we've done some hunts that we're like, man, never doing that again. Like we kind of laugh about it. We're like, God, that was the worst experience of my life.
I just think it's wild. How long have y'all been really at these Sika deer? Yeah, give me one of them Dylan Mulvaney's, if you will. I mean, what, 3 years, like, really at these deer?
Yeah, it was really like I remember the first year we started hunting them. Thank you. I moved, so we heard about them. I know Seth had an opportunity. He tried at them before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, I don't know. Have you ever told that story on the podcast?
Let me fix this camera real quick. I don't know if I did.
That would be a funny story to get into. But me and Seth been hunting them hard about 3 years. But we kind of like, I moved to the shore. I'm like, hey, we should try to hunt these things.
Yeah.
So we did like a Friday, Saturday. And then, you know, Seth talks about all the time, like that first bugle we heard, we were just like, oh, this is what this. I remember not only that, but driving in, there's things I love about Sika. One of them is the area that they live.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, how often are you sitting there hunting whitetail and you hear a lawnmower and you hear the neighbors playing and you hear dogs barking? When
All
you're
the
hunting
time.
whitetail or Sika, you're in their element. It's so much more immersive. And I remember driving down to the unit that we were hunting that night, and there was not a star or a cloud in the sky. It was all stars, no light pollution. Like, we got out of the car, and we were just like, wow.
Yeah.
And that was before we even heard a bugle. So I thought that was really cool, but we fell in love with it from there. And I remember he came down, and we tried to hunt him rifle. We tried to hunt him late season, and then next year we took a whole week, and then you came down a couple other times, and then this year we're at it again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of been like an addiction for us.
Yeah, I think it's just wild how quickly you guys have gotten on them. Maybe not figured them out. Well, maybe figured them out, but gotten on them, because it takes some people a lifetime.
Yeah. Like we had a conversation with one guy coming out of a unit. He's saying he's been coming down here for what was it? How many years was it?
Is that the gut shot guy?
I think so. He said it's
3 or 4
it's like
years.
his 3rd or 4th year, and he's never killed one. And it's like, damn, I mean, that's a struggle. I mean, don't get me wrong, we struggle too. But we also put a lot of hours in to get them. And now I feel like a lot of the whitetail stuff translates, but, like, they are different in a lot of ways. And now I feel like we've been able to, pretty much every hunt we see them.
Yeah.
Often one of us has a shot at them. This morning we went with Will Bratton. He had a shot opportunity. Shout out our boy Will. Like in our group, every time we go, somebody has one in range. You know what I mean? Which is an awesome feeling, because when we first started doing this, we didn't see one. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, some of the things that we said on, like, previous podcasts, and it's funny because we've actually had people commenting like, you guys don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're damn right we didn't know what the fuck we're doing. And I'm not saying we know now, but
Got a pretty good idea.
I consistently see these animals, so I feel like I'm getting the hang of it. You know what I mean? And some of the things that we learned is so for Sika deer, they really like the cover of the Phragmites. They will come into the woods, and sometimes they'll even bed in the woods, particularly in early season where we've seen them. But edges is a big thing, just like with whitetail. They like to move along edges.
The edges of the frag and...
Edges of the frag, edges of the timber, field edges, what have you, whatever it may be, they are also creatures of the edge, just like whitetail. They move a little bit later. Often you will not see them till the sun starts to dip underneath the horizon.
Yes, like 15 minutes shot opportunity.
Of light. So make sure you sit your ass in that stand until you can't see anymore. So, you know, bed and feed, it's kind of the similar process as it would be with whitetail, except with these Sika deer, they'll often bed in the frag and feed in the timber. So a good place to sit maybe for a morning hunt would be inside the frag to catch them coming back to bed, vice versa. So these are things that we've learned. Like we used to, initially somebody told us they're like hogs, man, they just never stop moving. That's wrong. I've watched them sit in one place for relatively long amounts of time. I do feel like they move more than whitetail. And when they do move, they move with a little bit more of a purpose. And they kind of move throughout the woods with a little more, what would you say, Ryan? Like happy-go-lucky kind of attitude sometimes?
Even though
but not always.
Yeah, I don't think they're as skittish and as careful as a whitetail.
Right.
At all. Like a whitetail is going to stop. It's going to check its surroundings. It's going to go 5-10 yards, stop, check its surroundings. A Sika will just put its head down and keep moving.
So you really got to be ready.
I think it helps to be ready, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's other times where they move kind of slow, like whitetail, but not as often. I mean, they definitely are. They definitely move more like hogs, but I wouldn't say they're like hogs.
No.
You know what I mean? But they do move more quickly than whitetail.
But they don't have like whitetail have like a set trail they walk down every fucking day. Are Sika like that?
Not that I've seen. They frequent areas.
Yeah.
Ryan, what do you think?
I don't think that they're as predictable as a whitetail. To where like a whitetail, if you have a doe patterned, like where you can almost have her down to like the minute.
Oh yeah.
Of
You
where
could
she's
set your
gonna
watch
be.
by it.
Yeah.
With a Sika, I do think that they have their patterns, they have their places they like to go, but they're just not nearly as consistent.
Yeah.
So where like they'll deviate and they'll go different directions, they'll go different timing.
But they're always going to like the same place there, right? They'll just take it like, I want to take this trail today.
That's how I feel. I feel like they frequent the same areas often, but when they're there is kind of a toss-up.
Yeah.
Like me and my wife, we operate very differently. Like I'm super like schedule oriented and like I like routine, and she's just kind of like go with the flow. She's more like a Sika deer. I'm more like a whitetail. Like I like to do things like the way I do them. You know what I mean? Like if you wanted to kill me, it'd be pretty easy because I do the same shit.
I wonder if it's for a whitetail that they're so used to like a certain route because they know it's safe. Like they're like, okay, I've done this route every day. I know it's safe. I haven't been shot yet or seen a predator. And then as soon as they see a predator, they normally deviate from that path.
But often only briefly.
Yeah. A couple days, they're back on it.
Yeah. They're just creatures of habit. As to Sika, I think are more just like happy-go-lucky. Like they're just kind of roaming around the woods, finding shit. You know what I mean? As to with a whitetail, they have more specific things they like to eat too. You know what I mean? Like whitetail have food sources that they hit certain times a year. You know what I mean? Like September, they're hitting fucking white oak acorns, and then they're hitting the fucking soybean, and then a little bit later they're fucking hitting corn, and then after that, then they hit red oaks. You know what I mean? And it's with Sika, I feel like they have just such a wide variety of food. They're just kind of wandering around eating. They're almost grazers more than they are browsers.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. Like, don't put that as fact, but it kind of seems that way.
I think in the absence of clear ag, yes.
Yeah.
I think if you have a clear ag, clear soybean field, cornfield, I do think that the Sika will make more of a habit of going there and making that a dominant food source.
Yeah.
To where like if you're going in a lot of like the Blackwater area or Fishing Bay area where there's not a lot of it's just marsh and flooded timber, they will be a lot more sporadic with their food sources because there's no one clear winner.
So Ryan taught me something today about Sika behavior. I took a picture of a wallow, and I kind of thought it was a wallow, but I was like, man, I'm kind of wonder if that was a whitetail scrape, because that's exactly what it looked like. It had a branch over it and everything. But where it was at was just like, there's just no fucking way a whitetail is back in here. So I asked Ryan about it. I was like, what do you think? And Ryan, what is the difference between a whitetail scrape and a Sika deer wallow?
Well, a wallow is essentially like the Sika deer pissing itself and just rubbing itself into the ground like a hog would.
A dirty bitch.
Which is like it's like a domination, it's like a territory thing. Where honestly I'm not 100% on what a whitetail scrape. It's like a
it's kind of like a whitetail scrape is like a calling card. They'll leave their scent in there. They'll rub their metatarsal or their metatarsal gland on a branch, and their interdigital gland. They'll wipe into the ground and scrape the ground with their hoof, and they'll piss in it. And that's kind of like, hey, what's up? It's almost like a check-in.
Who's here?
For whitetail, yeah. And they'll frequent those.
Yeah.
Often, most scrape activity, 85% of scrape activity occurs at night, but they'll frequent those. Yeah. Now, with a Sika, you were saying that to your understanding, it's different.
From people I've talked to, like they'll use it as like a dominance, like a territory mark, but it's kind of like they just happen upon, like they just get like a hair up their ass and they're like, oh, I'm just gonna do this right now, but it's not necessarily it's something they're gonna come back and check on. From what I understand, it's not like a patternable thing.
I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, it's
Just talking
patternable
how
in
they
terms
are.
of if you have a wallow there, then obviously a stag
Has been
has
there.
been there, and that's part of its route. But like when you see a whitetail scrape, then you have a good idea that if you put a camera there, you're gonna get pictures that night or that day, depending on the time of the year.
Right. So, Ryan, I mean, I'm not gonna bust your balls too hard about last night because I think your recent success has overshadowed that. I know you're kicking yourself enough. I can tell that look on your face, so I'm not gonna do it to you.
No, it's
But-
all right. It's all right. You can hit me with it.
You motherfucker!
You piece of garbage.
You
Yeah.
goddamn son of a bitch! You. All right. First, I want to hear about, coming down here this week, and it's something that I've wanted for a long time. I've wanted to see you see success. Like ever since I got my first Sika, I was like, man, Ryan needs to get his. And last year that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you and I have put in so much work on these things, and I was just like, hey, it hurt me to see you fail. Like just a fucking loser. I mean, just failure. Sorry if I overdid that.
You're good. You're good.
But in all seriousness, like I was like, man, Ryan needs to get one. Like you've earned that motherfucker. And this year, you fucking got it done.
Yeah, I did.
All by yourself.
Got
And
on.
you were by yourself, which I wish I was there. But hey, I'm pumped you got it. So walk us through that and tell us what that felt like, man.
It felt like a huge weight off my shoulder to finally get on the board with him. Just because of, again, all the work you put in. Like, you didn't have anything to show for it. It's like, you tell people, I love Sika deer hunting. How many you got? But, like I said, it wasn't for lack of opportunity. I had chances, but just needed to get better as a hunter in those circumstances and be able to control myself and control your emotions in those moments, which is really hard to do unless you're like in those moments.
Yeah.
I really feel like we can talk about other ways to like replicate it, but I still feel like there's no way to replicate it outside of game reps.
Yeah.
But it felt really good because I just went to one of our favorite units, a unit that we've been to a bunch of times. It was a good wind in the morning. It was cold. I said, I'm just gonna go. It was funny because I was telling him I drive the Battle Wagon. I drive a Mazda 3 hatch, and I keep a tarp in my car for when I shoot a deer. And that morning I woke up and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, oh man, my tarp's in my shed. I was like, in my head I'm like, I'm probably not gonna shoot anything. I'll just leave it in there.
Of course.
Worst case scenario, if I shoot something, I'll just go leave it on the side of the unit and go to Walmart, get a tarp, come back.
So you were almost anticipating failure.
Well,
What a
that's
piece of
Sika deer
shit.
hunting.
Yeah.
Let's come back.
In the early September, Sika deer hunting, I wasn't really expecting success. It was more of like, I should probably just go today.
Yeah.
So, but I ended up that morning getting my tarp. I was like, I'm just going to get it. So I drove up to the unit, hiked all the way in, got to my spot. It was a beautiful morning, beautiful wind. I'm sitting there. At this point, I was drinking my cup of coffee in the stand. I was texting you guys, and I heard a stag bugle within 150 yards. So I bugled back, and I waited about 5 minutes, and I saw a whitetail flicker. And I was like, okay. I was like, I think that stag's coming in. I think he's trying to like come in downwind of where I was to figure out what the hell was going on. And then I noticed it was a hind, busted out of the brush, dead right in front of me, 25 yards, swung out. I shot it, and it dropped on the spot. I thought I spine shotted it because of the way it dropped. So I took my bow out, I took another arrow out, knocked it, shot it, finished her off. I was like, all right, whatever. I climbed down. Turns out my original shot probably, if it didn't hit heart, it double lunged or something because it just shot through her and like pinned her shoulder blades together. That's why she couldn't move.
Hell yeah.
So the second shot probably just saved her about 4 seconds of suffering. But no, that one felt good just to get in and just get it done. And I wish you were there too. You were the first person I called, but it was also like it felt good because that was like a spot that I put myself on. Like it feels good when you're like, all right, this is like 100%. I didn't look up on the internet. No guide put me in a stand. No one told me where to sit. I was like, that's where I'm gonna go.
So all the work that you put in, and we're talking 2 years really, of hard work came to fruition at that moment. When you realized you had success, because you probably realized it from the stand because it was laying on the ground, how did that feel?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt good.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Did you cry?
I didn't cry, but it was honestly, it's probably my, I didn't cry. It was probably my favorite kill or harvest of all time.
Oh.
Like even over my buck, just because of how much like that meant to me. And that's one thing I really think I enjoy about Sikaville is like it's moments like this. I don't think I'd enjoy it as much if I just came up by myself, but it's like, I know I associate Sikaville with the camaraderie of coming up and doing it with a bunch of guys and having an organized trip and doing stuff. So it kind of was like a group thing.
Mm-hmm.
Once I got it, it was like, it wasn't just for me. It was for everybody.
Fuck yeah.
I'm super pumped for you, man. When you told me that, dude, I was so fired up. You know what I mean? I was just fucking... it was almost like I was there with you. I wish I would have been there with you, but I was fired up. I was like, fuck yeah, let's go, baby. You know what I mean? Like, dude, because I know how much work you put in. And nobody deserves it more. So, congratulations again. I'm glad you got on the board, baby. Now...
Fucking do it again tomorrow, huh?
Let's fucking
we got a
do
whole
it
week.
again. Let's
All
get tagged.
week?
Hey, Operation Tag the fuck out. That's why we're here this year. Now, I've told this to like Travis. We had him on the pod last week. Like, I have high hopes. Like, I'm down here like, man, I think I'd really like to tag out, but at the same time, you can never anticipate the movement of a wild animal. You can never anticipate, and you can't say for certain when you're hunting public land, you're not hunting over bait. You know what I mean? We're going out there and getting after these things, and we're on their home field. Mm-hmm. We're coming to play in their fucking stadium. They've got the advantage. The weather is not ideal, so it ain't gonna be no fucking gimme.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be pumped. As long as I get one, I'll be happy. But my objective is to tag out this week.
I think that's the goal for everyone, is to get one at least.
Yeah.
If we all leave here with a tag filled this week,
That's a huge
that
success.
would be a success.
I just want to see one.
Yeah,
I'm at that point in my Sika hunting career. I just want to see one first.
You're gonna see.
Yeah. Well, good.
We're gonna get you on some tomorrow morning, baby.
Hey, as long as my daddy's telling me what tree to get in, I'll do the rest.
That's right. Yeah. That's all there is to it. I mean, we've had a pretty good start. I came down Saturday afternoon. We went out Saturday night. I seen a hind. Heard lots of bugles. Ryan seen a couple.
Shot at a couple.
Made a little mistake, but honestly, it wasn't even really your fault. I mean, you had a branch out in front of you. Kind of
Couldn't see it.
You didn't see the branch at all. Nope. I heard it. I could hear it. I knew
It was it's one of those, like, I've messed up on deer before because, like, I messed up. But again, maybe I need to pay better surround. But like when you're in in a brushless forest, because that's what flooded timber is. It's not very thick.
Yeah.
Like, you're not really taking brush into account. And it was low light. It was like 15 minutes till last light. And there was one overhanging branch that I missed. And it got just dark enough in that timber where I couldn't see. And I had a baby and her mom come in. And she was big, and I waited. She was 22 yards broadside. I was patient. God. I drew back. I centered my pin. I relaxed. I fired expecting that thing to just be a perfect shot. And that thing was going, and it was like it hit an invisible wall and just ricocheted. And I was like, what the heck just happened?
I heard it, and I was hoping it was like bone.
Yeah.
That I heard, because I heard thwack, thwack. You know what I mean? And I was like, did you get one? And then a couple minutes later, he was like, I hit a fucking tree branch. It is what it is. I mean, that happens to all of us. But you know what I'm taking away from it is we've went out twice since I got here, and somebody from our group, we went out with Will this morning. He had a shot on one. Didn't get it done, but
there's a pattern here so far. Everyone sucks at shooting a bell.
We're gonna change that tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, we're gonna kill some Sika deer. That's all there is to it. So, Ryan, what's your outlook for this week? What do you think? What do you, as far as like weather, movement? What do you anticipate for the first week of October?
I think we're gonna just get really standard movement. I actually think we've been seeing a lot of deer. and I feel good about the movement because, like, the day I went out and I shot my hind, it was pretty typical for September. It wasn't very cold. It wasn't like it was a cold front that made me go out. But I'm really enjoying this early part of the rut. They're super vocal right now. I think we're going to hear a lot of bugles. I think we're going to see a lot of deer. But like you talked about earlier, there's no anomalies right now. There's not like a big cold front pushing through. We're like, oh man, it's going to be money. But it's also not 85 degrees. Like, it's standard October weather, and it's going to be chilly mornings.
Yeah.
And then normal mid-October afternoons.
Right.
And then they're rutting.
Yep.
So I really feel like this is kind of like, it could be a lot better, could be a lot worse. Like, there's no reason to complain about this week.
Yeah.
With what we've got.
It's gonna be warm, but not really unseasonably. So I think we'll see fair movement.
Yeah.
Well, have you seen the weather forecast for next week?
Cold.
Yeah.
Cold.
Yeah, last week was cold. This week, fucking hot. Next week's cold.
Yeah.
It's our luck.
Yep.
When we take off for rut, whether it's Sika or whitetail, we get fucked.
Yep.
Last year, whitetail rut is 90 degrees down Rogues Harbor.
Yeah.
So
It was
It
close
wasn't-
to it, wasn't it?
yeah,
It was
It
like
wasn't-
80 something.
Yeah.
It wasn't until that third week in November that
Yeah.
temps
Yeah.
started getting cold.
Thanksgiving. Yeah,
Yeah. That is
we've
what
got,
it is.
We've got Monday next week, 50 degrees in the morning.
yeah.
We've got, so it's going to be Monday morning's going to be money. Next Tuesday morning, let's see, this week we've got tomorrow low is 61, high 78. Tuesday 78, 62. Wednesday 79, 59. Thursday 77, 64. Friday 78, 65. So we've got low 60s, high 50s all week. Working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
we're fine.
It's
I
the
think
card we were dealt.
mornings might be hotter.
Yeah,
Not hotter, but that's a poor
movement hot.
poor term. Yeah. Mornings will probably be better this week for us. I think evenings we're not going to see a whole lot till absolute last light.
Yeah. Now, John, let me ask you, as the least Sika experienced person in this group, what are you looking forward to in this week?
What am I looking for? A Sika deer.
Well, like, what are you looking forward to?
Oh, looking forward to? The first thing I'm looking forward to is hearing that first bugle rip off in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're going to hear that tomorrow.
And then the second thing I'm looking forward to is watching one creep out of the frag. Then the third thing is watching the arrow sail through its fucking rib cage.
Hell yeah. So what is your goal for the week, and what is your, like, you want to kill one, I'm assuming. That's your bare minimum for being happy.
I don't care what it is.
If you get one, you're happy?
Yeah, I don't care what it
Or do you
is.
want to tag out?
I just want one.
Just want one.
I mean, obviously, if I get one tomorrow morning, I'm going to stay and attempt to tag out.
Yeah.
But
Why the fuck not?
Yeah, the main goal is to just get one.
Yeah, get on the board with
Yeah.
Sika. Because it's an animal you haven't killed yet.
Yeah.
And that's pretty big feat stepping out from whitetail and getting a different animal. You know, I love hunting whitetail, but I also love hunting Sika. It's just a different pursuit. It's a different animal. It's definitely exciting. I love being able to call to them. Like last night, I growled at a Sika.
Yeah.
I bugled. You know what I mean?
I was at the Orioles game and you were giving like a play-by-play.
So I'm out in this spot that you and I have been before.
Okay. Oh.
And we seen this monster stag.
Was it the same? Okay.
Yes, same spot.
Okay.
And I swear to God it's the same stag.
Probably
because
is.
it sounds the same to me. And Ryan swears it's a spike. He's saying, like, you can't say what stag it is, which I don't disagree with him. But in my heart of hearts, in my hunter's heart,
really hoping it is him.
I believe that's
Why
him.
not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
And I sit there and I hear him bugle. And I waited a minute or two and I rip off back to him. 10 minutes later, he moves in closer. He's like fucking 60 yards from me. And bugles again. I can hear that. That's a poor. I can't do it. Sorry. I
Like the
wanna give it to you.
gravelly in his.
It's that like throaty, gravelly
Yeah.
ending to his bugle. Just 90 decibels loud. You know what I mean?
Sheesh.
I mean, fucking loud. He's right here. So I hit him with a growl. Like something kind of like that.
He was like, something's dying over there.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know what the fuck that is, but I ain't going over there. And then a couple minutes later, he bugles again. This sounded like he moved back to where he was. So I'm like, fuck, man. So I rip off another bugle. And basically, we went back and forth like that. He never showed himself. And it makes me think two things. One, I suck at calling. Mm-hmm. And two, I think he's as big as he is and as old as he is because he's not exactly responding to every bugle he hears. He's probably like, you want some of this? Come get it.
Exactly.
He ain't coming out to me.
Exactly.
So I think I have to pick up a different tactic with him. And that, to me, is because of his location. He is in the frag. And we've had a sighting. Brandy seen him last year in the morning heading back to that spot.
Yeah.
We seen him in the afternoon leaving that spot. So I have not tried to hunt him in the morning other than, actually, yes, I did. I tried to hunt him in the morning. I sat exactly where Brandy did, except a little closer so I could have a shot opportunity. She was a little far. Didn't see him. So what I want to do is get in early and go in to his bedding area and set up and wait for him to come back to bed.
Watch all this and some guy shot him opening day muzzleloader last year.
Don't say that, Ryan.
You know what, Ryan? Like, I ever since I seen him, like he's haunted me. I want him bad.
Yeah, that picture is burned into my brain.
The size of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was telling Ryan today, I was like, dude, he looked like a fucking elk.
He was
like,
60 yards. He was huge.
His chest was so much bigger than, like, his back legs. Like, his mane was just majestic. He looked like motherfucking... Who's the lion from fucking...
Mufasa?
He looked like goddamn Mufasa. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he was Aslan. You know what I'm saying, dude? Just a beautiful, majestic, magical fucking creature. I mean, antlers on him like this. Like, dude, how can you not want to pursue him?
For the first Sika I ever see, that was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
That was the first one you ever saw?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a fucking elk of a Sika deer. So, I'm pursuing him this week for sure. But for me, as long as I get one, I will be happy. But my goal is to tag out this week.
Hell yeah. Pretty good goal.
Yeah. I mean, it's hopes are high. It's early. We just started this week. Sign's been good. We've had opportunity. I think we're gonna get it done. I think it's gonna be a good week. That's my projection. And I hope we can do another podcast at the end of this and we'll all be equally as optimistic.
That's some fucking
and
blood drawn.
Yeah.
God damn it.
1 week in October.
1 week in October, huh?
And happy opening day to a lot of states out there. October 1.
Oh, yeah. October 1. A lot of states open up. PA is October 1, ain't it?
Yeah, Michigan. I think Michigan is a lot of states. So.
Yeah, shout out Slippery Tim. He got out there. He sent me a snap. Had some equipment issues, but he's out there. So good luck to all y'all who are just getting out there. We hope you guys get it done. We all got some whitetail in the freezer, so we're down here trying to get some Sika deer now.
Fuck yeah.
Well, you boys got anything else?
Nah.
Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep you tuned in. We will be back this week. Wish us luck. But we don't really need it.
Peace.